In the quaint and vibrant town of Animville, the sun was just beginning to cast its golden hues across the sky. Birds were waking, flowers blooming, and the town was starting to buzz with its daily chatter. On the edge of the park, in a cozy little house, lived two best friends, Hops the rabbit and Whiskers the hamster. Hops, with his soft brown fur and twinkling eyes, loved nothing more in the world than munching on crisp, fresh carrots. He woke up early, as usual, looking forward to his first bite. However, when he opened his fridge, he was met with a disheartening sight. His carrot stash was gone. He quickly hopped over to Whiskers, who was just beginning to stir from his sleep. "Whiskers! Whiskers! All our carrots are gone!" cried Hops. Whiskers, rubbing his tiny eyes, blinked up at Hops. "Don't worry, Hops. Let's go to the pet store. They always have a good supply of carrots." So, off they went, walking through the picturesque streets of Animville, until they reached the pet store. To their surprise, the usual shelf full of vibrant, orange carrots was empty. The storekeeper, a wise old tortoise named Terence, shook his head. "I'm afraid all our carrots have disappeared overnight. Never seen anything like this before." The duo puzzled over this mystery. "This is rather strange, Hops," said Whiskers, nibbling thoughtfully on a sunflower seed. "Carrots don't just disappear." "You're right, Whiskers," Hops said, looking determined. "We need to get to the bottom of this." As they started to plan their investigation, a flicker of movement from the corner of Hop's eye made him pause. A shadowy figure was darting past the storefront, and in its small paw was something long, orange, and unmistakably carrot-shaped. "Whiskers, did you see that?" Hops asked, pointing to the quickly disappearing figure. Whiskers, eyes wide, nodded. "I did, Hops. Could it be the carrot thief?" they exclaimed together. Their quest to retrieve the missing carrots had just begun, but who was this mysterious figure? What was in store for our brave duo? The excitement was just starting to unfold in the quiet town of Animville. Armed with curiosity and courage, Hops and Whiskers hopped and scampered in the direction of the shadowy figure, which led them to the heart of Animville, the bustling pet show. The pet show was a vibrant spectacle of colorful feathers, fluffy tails, gleaming scales, and chatty creatures. The duo were awed by the array of contests taking place, from the fastest fetcher to the dazzling dive. But they had a mission. Pushing through the crowd, they attempted to find the mysterious shadow that had led them here. Hops asked around, showing everyone a hastily drawn picture of the shadowy figure. After a flurry of interesting encounters with chatty parakeets, enthusiastic dogs, and even a snobbish Siamese cat, they were beginning to lose hope. It seemed like the figure had disappeared once again. Suddenly, from a corner of the pet show, Whiskers spotted the shadowy figure again, sneakily slinking away from the show. "Hops, there!" cried Whiskers, pointing in the direction with his tiny paw. But before they could start their chase, they heard a loud and flamboyant voice booming across the showground. "And now, for our final event, the spontaneous sprint. Let's welcome our unexpected competitors, Hops and Whiskers." The duo found themselves pushed onto a racetrack, much to their surprise. The crowd were roaring, and the start whistle blew. With no time to process what was happening, they found themselves racing against a blur of feathers, fur, and scales. After a breathtaking race and an unexpected second-place finish, Hops and Whiskers resumed their pursuit of the shadowy figure. The chase led them straight to the door of the pet grooming salon, a place filled with the sounds of running water, hair dryers, and chatty animals. The salon was in full swing with pets waiting for their turn, others getting their fur groomed, nails trimmed, and feathers preened. Hops and Whiskers, blending into the chaos, noticed the shadowy figure dash towards a back room. In their pursuit, they wove through a maze of barking dogs, dramatic poodles, and fussy felines. Whiskers even found himself stuck in a pile of hair from a freshly trimmed Afghan hound. Just as they neared the back room, they stumbled upon a hidden map tucked behind a frame. The map had a route drawn leading from the salon straight to the animal shelter. Startled and curious, they were pondering over the map when suddenly the salon owner, a meticulous Siamese cat named Mitzi, caught them snooping around. "What do you two think you're doing here?" she demanded, her fur bristling. Panicking, Hops and Whiskers scampered for the exit, map in paw, with Mitzi hot on their tails. They dashed through the bustling salon, creating a hilarious scene of flying fur and toppled shampoo bottles. Escaping from Mitzi's claws, Hops and Whiskers darted towards the animal shelter following the path on the map. The shelter was nestled in a quiet corner of Animville, away from the town's daily hustle and bustle. Its rustic structure housed a myriad of animals, from playful puppies to wise old owls. As they sneaked into the shelter, they found the building oddly quiet. Cautiously, they followed the route indicated on the map, which led them to a secret room hidden behind a large painting of a Siberian husky. Inside, they were greeted by an astonishing sight. Piles of carrots filled the room, their orange hues glowing under the dim light. The mystery of the Great Carrot Caper was finally solved. But before they could celebrate their discovery, a rustling sound echoed from behind the carrot piles. Out stepped the shadowy figure, a squirrel with a black eye patch. He looked surprised and quickly defensive. "I didn't mean no harm," the squirrel stammered. "I thought I was storing acorns for winter." The mix-up had occurred because the squirrel's eye patch had affected his color vision. Hops and Whiskers couldn't help but chuckle at the endearing mistake. However, convincing the squirrel to return the carrots was no easy task. As they debated, they heard the sound of footsteps approaching the hidden room. Was it the shelter manager or someone else? Would Hops and Whiskers be able to negotiate with the squirrel and restore Animville's carrots? As the footsteps grew closer, Hops and Whiskers exchanged nervous glances. The door creaked open, revealing a familiar face, the shelter manager, Ms. Jenkins, a kind-hearted woman with a love for all animals. Ms. Jenkins entered the room, her eyes widening in surprise as she took in the sight of Hops, Whiskers, the squirrel, and the stacks of carrots. "What on earth is going on here?" she exclaimed, her voice filled with astonishment. With a mixture of excitement and relief, Hops and Whiskers explained the entire adventure, the disappearance of the carrots, their chase through Animville, and the squirrel's innocent mix-up. Ms. Jenkins listened attentively, her expression gradually changing from surprise to amusement. When they finished recounting their tale, Ms. Jenkins burst into laughter. "Oh, my dear pets, what a remarkable adventure you've had. I'm glad you've resolved the carrot mystery and uncovered the squirrel's harmless mistake." With a warm smile, she turned to the squirrel and gently explained the mix-up, assuring him that his intentions were admirable. The squirrel, feeling a sense of relief, apologized for the confusion and agreed to return the carrots to their rightful owners. As they all worked together, organizing the carrots into baskets, Hops couldn't help but reflect on the lessons learned throughout their journey, the importance of communication, the power of friendship, and the value of understanding others' perspectives. With the carrots safely returned, Hops, Whiskers, and the squirrel ventured back into Animville, where they were greeted with cheers and applause from the townsfolk. News of their thrilling adventure had spread, and the residents were grateful for the return of the beloved carrots. In celebration, the townsfolk organized a grand carrot festival, complete with carrot-themed decorations, games, and even a carrot cake baking contest. Hops and Whiskers were the honored guests, and they reveled in the joyous atmosphere, savoring carrot-filled treats and soaking up the love and appreciation from the community. As the carrot festival came to an end, Hops and Whiskers sat beneath the starry night sky, content and fulfilled. They marveled at how a simple carrot caper had brought them closer, introduced them to new friends, and taught them valuable life lessons. With a sigh of happiness, Hops turned to Whiskers. "What an incredible adventure it's been, my friend. Who knew that a missing carrot stash could lead us on such an exciting journey?" Whiskers nodded, a twinkle in his eye. "Indeed, Hops. And we have countless stories to share with the young ones of Animville, inspiring them to embrace their own adventures, big or small." And as they curled up together, basking in the glow of their triumph, they drifted off to sleep, knowing that their tale would be shared with children for generations to come. For now, their story had come to an end. But who knows what other thrilling escapades await them in the magical world of Animville.